recognized symbol of excellence for your entertainment.
Everybody talk about pop music.
Welcome to Machino Music, the show that puts some music in Machino music, with your host, me, Brett Strong. Today on Machino Music, it's part 1 of my 20 favorite pop albums. Good afternoon, everybody. My 20 favorite pop albums. That's what we're doing here today. I did my 20 favorite heavy metal. I did my 20 favorite new wave albums. Oh, what the hell? Gotta do my 20 favorite pop albums because I have 20 of those as well. Now, I should say, this was very difficult, okay? I thought heavy metal was hard. New wave I didn't struggle too much with. But because pop is, here's the thing. Pop is literally means popular. So it can have like literally anything. Like it's just like, it's so difficult to really narrow it down because there's so many great pop albums, and especially, again, one album per band or artist. So, I mean, the amount of trees I killed putting this thing together, like writing this down, I gotta move this, it's just too much. But I did it. At least I think I did. I think I'm happy with this. Now, this is going to be 20 through 11, and then next week will be the top 10. And again, these aren't ranked. I mean, because ranking them. I mean, it was hard enough just putting them in, in any order. So these are not ranked. I'm not saying one's better than the other. I just want to talk about some great pop albums. So let's get right into it here. Starting with Jessica Simpson, A Public Affair. This is from 2005. 2006. Excuse me. But, yeah, this was a big deal. See, Jessica Simpson, I was never a huge fan of her, I know her, like, Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, and she kind of came after. This is all about these blonde girls here. But I don't know, I dug this album. It's got some great tunes. I think this is really her best album because it's most fun. I mean, you got the title track, great, fantastic, love the title track. Public Affair, so much fun. You got the video. Actually, if you watched my special, Dancing on Cheese, I was actually in the video.
I want to be more famous than the internet.
I want to be so famous that a pair of my underwear goes for top dollar on eBay. Wow, I forget about that. But yeah, got her cover of You Spin Me Round Like a Record, originally by Dead or Alive. I really like her cover of it. I like the original song too, but this one is, I think, a good version of it, kind of more modern. Got the song Boy, which actually has a sample of the Cars' Just What I Needed, which is pretty cool. That's a pretty cool tune. If You Were Mine, fun. Between You and I is so beautiful. Love that song. Yeah, so good. So yeah, there you go, Jessica Simpson. Next I'm going Cher, Believe. This album was like a huge deal. See, this Cher will always be relevant. She's always going to have something else. She's going to introduce herself to a new generation. She's awesome. She's Cher. And yeah, this album, I mean, of course, Believe was, the title track was like the big, huge song. I mean, the whole auto-tune thing. Basically now, when anybody hears like a vocoder, they think it's auto-tune. That's kind of what she's doing on it, but like it just sort of changed. It just almost changed or ruined pop music because everybody started doing the auto-tune thing. But this was used for effect, not used to just fix vocals as it's supposed to be used. Everybody just started abusing it like crazy and actually sort of making it a part of the song, which became a bit of a problem. But, you know, all thanks to Cher. But Cher can get away with it because she's Cher. But yeah, this is a good album. What's great about this, it's like a modern day disco album. When I listened to this again, I thought, wow, I forgot how much like a modern disco album this was. You even look it up, the genre is categorized as Euro disco. Because I guess Europeans were the ones doing disco at this time. But yeah, 1998, more like 1978. But yeah, this is a great album. Forgot how good this was, and you know, Cher's so fabulous. She still looks good. She just put out her Christmas album, Love It. Could have put that on here, but I guess we'll wait till Christmas to talk about that. Love it. The Machino Music Studio sounded like a gay disco all holiday long. Love it. Next I'm going Elton John, Captain Fantastic and the Brown Dirt Cowboy. See, this was hard. Like, is this a rock album or is it a pop album? I always thought Elton John kind of more pop, so I thought I'd include this. And this is my favorite Elton John album, always has been. It's a concept album all about sort of his creative partnership with Bernie Taupin. And yeah, I mean, it's just, all the songs just have something like their story of kind of like making it, not wanting to be a failure. It's really good. I mean, just so many great tunes on here. I mean, the only big hit was Someone Saved My Life Tonight, which that's even Elton John says, I mean, that's kind of the only hit. And why he thinks this is probably his favorite album of his, and I think maybe why it's mine, is because it doesn't have so many of the songs that you are familiar with. It's got way more of these, like, just these really cool, just like part of the story is you connect to it, but it just, you don't really have the same thing of like connecting it to like the big hit songs that we all know. Because all the other Elton John records, which are great, I mean, you just remember more for the hits. This one, you don't remember so much for the hits, you just remember for just how great the music is. And I think that really puts this one up for me as my favorite Elton John album. So yeah, really cool. Captain Fantastic and the Brown Dirt Cowboy. All right, next we're going Lisa Lisa and Cult Jam, Spanish Fly from 1987. This was their second record. I mean, this is how it has Head to Toe, Lost in Emotion, right there. Two fantastic songs. A lot of really good ones on here too. Everything Will Be Fine, like the letter B, not like the word B. Dig it. I Promise You. Fool is Born Every Day. Playing with Fire, great tune, closes it out. I think it's like with Lisa Lisa and the Cult Jam. They're almost completely forgotten. And they had a lot of #1 hits, especially their first two records. And I mean, Head to Toe and Lost in Emotion were massive tunes. And before that, they had Can You Feel the Beat, Wonder If I Take You Home, All Cried Out. They had these big tunes, and they're like almost completely forgotten. And wow. So it's just, this is a great record. If you've never heard Lisa Lisa and Cult Jam, and just like good fun, like 80s pop music, this is a phenomenal album you should listen to. Really cool. Yeah, Lisa Lisa, awesome. Next up, the Bee Gees, Main Course. It's an original vinyl of this one. I love the Bee Gees, and they could be considered rock by some, but you know, it's disco really that kind of put them on the map. Everybody started they started to despise the Bee Gees because of disco, but I like Bee Gees disco, and this I think is my favorite Bee Gees record. I mean, I just loved it. I mean, Nights on Broadway alone makes this a phenomenal album. That is my favorite Bee Gees song. Just such a cool tune. I mean, yeah, it's kind of disco, but still, it's 1975. It's not like right in the middle of disco as some of their other hits. But, wow, I just love that tune, Nights on Broadway. Jive Talkin', of course. Wind of Change, Songbird. This also has a lot of their kind of folky kind of stuff, like the early Bee Gees, a lot of their early kind of like pop rock feel, which I really dig. So it's kind of a mix. Yeah, this is like right before the big disco thing, so still a good album there, and pointing at her boobs. Next I'm going Adele 25. Now this sometimes, I mean, I just thought I gotta have an Adele album. I did an Adele album ranking, and this was my favorite Adele album. I mean, I think it could flip-flop kind of with maybe like 21 or even 30 sometimes is good the more to listen to it. But this one I really think is my favorite because of like a few songs. And Water Under the Bridge is such a great song. Absolutely love that tune. So I think that's why this still puts it up for me as like a great pop album, great Adele album. Also Hello, of course, was the big single off of this. Hello from the Other Side. But yeah, I think this is just Adele just doing some of her best work right here. Yeah, just love this record. I sometimes think put this kind of maybe with jazz, because you kind of put it on a bit more, got more of a feel more like a jazz record. But yeah, I'm putting it with my favorite pop albums. Just love Adele. Okay, next, this one no one talks about. Sheena Easton, Madness, Money, and Music. This really is her masterpiece. If you only know Sheena Easton for Morning Train, My Baby Takes the Morning Train, if that's all you know her for, listen to this record. Because there's just some great songs on here. Machinery, which is really cool, almost kind of got a bit of a new wave feel to it. Weekend in Paris, great, beautiful song. I Wouldn't Beg for Water. The title track is great. Also, you get the original version of Wind Beneath My Wings. Not done by Bette Midler. It's originally done by Sheena Easton on this record. And, I mean, I love the Bette Midler version. I mean, come on. The Divine Miss M herself. That's a great song. But, I know. I think I like the Sheena Easton original a lot more. And there she is with a donkey. Alright, next I'm going Prince, Purple Rain. Now, there's a couple others I was going to put. I was going to put Controversy. Could have put 1999. Could have put the self-titled album, which I think might be my favorite Prince album, but I don't know. The Prince has so many great albums. But this one I really thought about, and like, this is such a great bridge. Like, that thing with like a lot of these pop bands is like, this was like a crossover. The 80s had a time where like so much crossover. The 90s still had it too, but there was so much crossover in the 80s, and Prince was one of the guys right at the top, because this is a rock album at the same time. It's got big guitar solos on it, but it's also pop. I mean, so many great tunes. Let's Go Crazy, of course, with that big, awesome guitar solo. When Doves Cry, of course. The title track is fantastic. Whoa. I Would Die For You, Darling Nikki, which pretty much kickstarted the whole Filthy 15 PMRC thing. Look that up. Pretty much started the whole thing with that one line. But, yeah. Just love this album. Had to have a Prince album, and the ones I almost went with, but then I thought, I gotta go Purple Rain. It's just so good. Prince at the height of his powers. Next up, I'm going Kate Bush, Lionheart. Again, a couple other Kate Bush albums I could have put. Especially her debut, The Kick Inside, which is great. And then I went with this one. I think this is like my favorite Kate Bush album. Don't Push Your Foot on the Heartbreak. Love that song. Bit of a rocker, but still got that real pop feel to it. And really, no one else sounds like Kate Bush. Hammer Horror, great tune. Yeah. There's a lot of great tunes on here. And, you know, Kate Bush is called progressive pop. So she's like, it is different, not traditional pop. It's got that progressive rock feel to it, but it's progressive pop. Yeah. She looks really cool on the back there. All right, and closing out part one of this, Bebe Rexha, Bebe from 2023. This is very recent. But yeah, this is a great album. I mean, first time I heard this, man, this like, wow. I mean, Bebe Rexha has some other really good tunes, but this one I just absolutely love. It's so cool. Heart wants what it wants. Great. Miracle Man, my favorite song on the album. Love it. Of course, her cover of, or kind of sort of like, it's like a reworking of the song Blue by Eiffel 65. I'm Good, which is just great. Yeah, love that. And she says the F word on it. That's why you have a parental advisory, explicit lyrics. Got her song Seasons featuring Dolly Parton. Beautiful. They sound so good together in the video. They both look fabulous together. Love it. Yeah. Great album. Just about every song on this is really good. This album slaps, as the kids like to say. So yeah, that's 20 through 11 of my 20 favorite pop albums. Next week is the top 10. And we'll see how that goes. How about we see the Batmobile driving backwards? There we go. Just wanted to show that. But next week, it will be the top 10. And if you're a fan of any of these albums, I hope you enjoyed this. That's it for this week. Until we meet again, this is Brett Strong saying good journey.